What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you a bold prediction entering the 2024-2025 NFL season. Let's get into it, guys. So before we get started, comment down below what is your bold prediction for your team or just in general entering this upcoming NFL season. Mine is on the Washington Commanders. And before we get started, no, I'm not biased, not a Commanders fan. I'm actually an Atlanta Falcons fan. But just looking around the league, looking at the landscape, I think, and like I said, this going to my bold prediction, I think the Washington Commanders will go worst to first in the NFC division this year. It sounds crazy. It sounds wild to most probably, looking at the Eagles and how stacked they are, looking at the Cowboys and how good they are. But I think there's a great chance. I think they can follow in the footsteps of the Houston Texans last year, of the Jaguars the year before, the Bengals 3 years ago, and so on and so on. It happens pretty much every year. One team almost guaranteed somewhere around the league will go worst to first, and I think the Commanders are in prime position to do just that. And let's go a mild take. If not, not go so bold as far as going worst to first, but going a little mild take with it, a mild prediction. I think they could at least be second and be a playoff team for the for the NFC East, over the Cowboys most likely. And the main reason why is their new offense. Obviously, the offense, the whole team has been, the whole entire organization has been just overhauled with the new ownership down to all the way down to the new quarterback. The new ownership, GM Adam Peters, those guys, new head coach Dan Quinn, new OC and Cliff Kingsbury, who I like a lot. And I did a couple videos on him this offseason saying that he could be in line to kind of not change the game, but kind of whatever team he does go to, I think he would change them for the better. My prediction video, when I heard he was getting looks again, my main thing was him going to the Steelers before they hired Arthur Smith, my Atlanta Falcons former head coach, who has an okay system. Not a big fan of it, but it does fit what they have going on right now as far as Russ at quarterback and Fields as well. But I would have loved to see the Steelers kind of go different than what they've usually done and go with the Cliff Kingsbury route, but they end up not doing that, so that's fine. But I'm really loving the staff that Dan Quinn has. I'm really loving Dan Quinn's defensive style as well with their current players. Everything they've done for the most part. All the money they had this offseason, I think they spent it wisely. And there's still a small chance, a super duper small chance. My prediction video comes through. My last prediction video I did pertaining to Brandon Ayuk was him going to the Commanders, and that was months ago, a while ago, and it's finally kind of coming to fruition now. We'll see. He's been talking to Jaden Daniels, their former teammates at Arizona State. They're familiar with each other, and they're still, they're still friendly. So I think there's a real good chance, at some point in time, if Ayuk is moved, not going to the Patriots, not going to any other team, I think the Commanders are a prime spot to get him. And I did that video a while ago, way before it was popular for the Commanders to even be in the mix to getting Brandon Ayuk. So I think there's a good chance they can upgrade their receiving core even more than what they actually have now. But look at some of their additions outside their coaching and GM. Their main thing on offense, obviously their quarterback, Jaden Daniels, who could have a RG3 / Lamar Jackson not rookie year, but his first starting year type of year. Very strong. Very strong rookie campaign is in line for Jaden Daniels. He has all the skills. He has the skill set, the skill especially in Cliff Kingsbury's system. Jaden Daniels the keyword is should. He should be a super duper threat in this scheme here. And later on in the video, I'll discuss Cliff Kingsbury's system and how I think it has evolved since his Arizona Cardinal days a couple years back. But another big get I like a lot for the Commanders is their second tight ends are right now on their depth chart, who could be their first, given injury or just better play, and that's Ben Sinnott. He's very good in college, and I love him in this new Cliff Kingsbury scheme. As I said, Zach Ertz, who's the starter now, he should be the starter as well. Veteran guy, been around for a long time. it puzzled me on why he chose the Commanders. Out of all teams, I'm sure teams would love to have him as tight end 2, tight end 3 on a stacked team. But for him to go there, I think he sees the vision as well as the vision I'm seeing, and he saw it months before, obviously, because he went there a while ago now. But I really love his fit with that offense. But like I said, he's older, always pretty banged up, for the most part. He definitely has the injury bug on the last couple of years. So there's a chance he doesn't finish the full season, at least plays every game, starts every game for the Commanders. So we could definitely see Ben Sinnott have a good impact, a big impact as a tight end for this squad pretty early on or sometime this season. So I hope not, and I hope he, Ertz stay healthy the full time. But there's a good chance. I think if you were bet on it, I think you would say Ertz at least misses a couple games. But obviously the normal tight ends there, normal receivers there, Terry McLaurin, Johan Dotson, big name guys there. Great play last couple years. Dotson kind of a step down from his rookie year a couple years ago, still pretty solid. I love the addition of the rookie Luke McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's younger brother, taller, fast as well, showed well during the combine, was okay in college, but he projects to be better as far as the pros goes. I love me some Olamide Zaccheaus, former Falcon. I did a video on him going to the Eagles last year. The impact wasn't there like I thought, but I did a video on him saying he will be a game changer for the Eagles. I think the same goes here. It didn't happen with the Eagles. They had a rough year, offense and defensively, for that Philly team last year, but he could definitely have an impact as the backup slot in this Commanders team. Now going to the defense. Well, before I go there, one more addition. That's free agent Austin Eckler. Him being the receiving back to the power back of Brian Robinson Jr. will help out the rookie quarterback a whole lot. So I think his offense could be high-powered, and I said this before as well, and this kind of segues me into the defense, that I did a video right after the NFL draft on 5 NFL players who I believe should be traded but probably won't be. And on that list was defender Jonathan Allen, one of the best D tackles in the NFL the last, 4 or 5 years. And in my opinion, I think he wants out. He hasn't made it clear yet. Obviously, there's been rumors, there's been tension last couple of years, but we all know winning cures all. And in that video, I mentioned about 5 players who should get traded but probably won't. I mentioned that he might not get traded simply because the Commanders are winning too much, especially in the first half of the season. Their schedule isn't that bad. It's not, obviously the NFL is tough. Every game is definitely a tough matchup, but their schedule isn't considered to be too rough, too tough. I think if the Commanders' offense can turn up like I think they probably will and can, and the defense shows up, I think Allen stays on that team. Him, Payne, the rookie Newton as well. I think, like I said, I think a trade sometime in the near future, this season upcoming or even next off season makes sense. Newton has to find some PT somewhere. He was a first round talent. He can be dominant or can be very, very good. You have to make room for him somewhere on that starting spot. And Allen is for me is the one that would probably go. But maybe they win this year. That's what my bold prediction is. The whole video is all about. And Allen stays a full year. But next summer, I think there's a good chance they move off of him or Payne to make Newton start. But we'll see. But as far as the new additions to the defense, on Dan Quinn's defense, you have Dorrance Armstrong from the Dallas Cowboys. Very good player. Fit the Dan Quinn scheme last couple years in Dallas. Dante Fowler, former Falcon, former a bunch of teams. He's still pretty solid. Nothing crazy, nothing major, but still solid. Then you have the 2 big additions, one I predicted and one caught me off guard. Bobby Wagner, I predicted this. I predicted him to join Dan Quinn the last couple years in Dallas. Didn't happen. But I did one more video this offseason, and it was Bobby Wagner to the Commanders. I said if it didn't happen this year, it will never happen. And it finally happened. Wagner to the Commanders with Dan Quinn made all the sense in the world. But the other one that got me kind of by surprise was Frankie Louvu from the Panthers. I thought he was a shoe-in to go back there. He was not, obviously. He followed Dan Quinn and Wagner to Washington. That is a very, very good linebacking duo right there. Still have Jamin Davis. I think that's a pretty solid group as well. So I like those two a whole lot. And I think they can make some noise as far as, or make an impact as both stay healthy. They could be the best linebacking duo in the NFL, or they at least be up there, considered probably top 5, top 7, and that's dangerous. Those two guys are very, very good at what they do. Then you have Jeremy Chin, former Panther as well, same as Frankie Louvu, Swiss Army knife, can play in the box, play deep, can pass rush a little bit. No, he does not pass rush, but come out the edge and blitz. He does it all at a pretty good level. So I like him there a lot. Then you look at the cornerbacks kind of scare me, though. I will say Michael Davis kind of scares me. Them losing Kendall Fuller to the Dolphins, that's a big blow. Their cornerback room isn't the greatest, but the player I love the most, I've spoken highly on him on multiple occasions. That's former Michigan all defensive guy, in my opinion, Mike Sainristil. I fell in love with him as a player a couple years ago in the Ohio State game. Did a video on him then, like I said, 2-3 years ago maybe, and I followed him ever since. Obviously, one of the best nickelbacks, the best cornerbacks in college football last couple years, but I think he will be an elite nickelback from the get-go. Same way I felt about Brian Branch from the Lions last year, one of my favorite guys from the draft from Bama 2 years ago. I think Mike Sainristil will be in that same vein, top-notch nickelback from the get-go. Physical, in your grill, no space, plays the game well, great IQ, great hands, former wide receiver. He can do it. He can track the ball well and everything. He's, to me, like I said, could be in a Mike Hilton type of vein, type of player, type of style. I think he'll be elite from the at least, if not elite, same as Brian Branch, be very, very good from the get-go. So I think all those moves, all those pieces will definitely help out the Commanders this season here. Now going to the biggest question mark probably, and that's the offense. As I said, the offense will probably be the biggest boom or bust for this team. They're gonna boom and be tough to beat, or they're gonna bust and Cliff Kingsbury probably not have a job again in the NFL. It just probably goes that way. Probably no in between. And the main thing that's making me feel comfortable about Cliff Kingsbury is the reports I've seen the last couple of seasons, as far as the improvements he has done to his scheme. Last time we seen him with the Cardinals, his air raid is kind of basic, kind of simple. He did make some improvements on it over his time with the Cardinals, but that has kind of, that job waned and it went bad on, went sour on him. But I think his time away has definitely made a difference in how he sees things. And there's been reports. There have been some positive reports coming from Washington that his scheme isn't the same stagnant air raid scheme that it was. He used to have fast tempo, no huddle, which is still there from what I'm reading. But the difference is not so stationary, it's not so stagnant. Guys can be mobile. Terry, Dawson, they can't be mobile now. They won't just be, okay, you're the X, you're the Y, we're staying there, no movement, no motion, just gonna be, hurry up to the line and run a play. That limits your route tree, that limits versatility, and reports are that he won't be so up tempo. It'll be more of a balance. Up tempo huddle, and you can have guys change positions, X, Y, Z, slot out, whatever, things of that nature, and kind of switch things up. Also have some versatility and more depth to your route tree for some of these guys in certain moments. So it won't be just the same stagnant air raid that we've seen the last couple years, since him being with Arizona. So I'm inclined to think the Commanders could do just that. What I'm saying, my bold prediction is, like I said, I'm not a Commanders fan at all, but I think Jay Daniels, if he stays healthy, could have an RG3 type season, his freshman year, his rookie year, that RG3 had all those years ago. Lamar Jackson had his first time fully starting for the Baltimore Ravens. I don't say MVP. I'm not saying that, but I think a very, very tough time and very tough out for this Commanders team could be, in line for these teams trying to stop them, because it takes, once some new hits the scene or something different, it takes a while. It takes maybe a whole year sometimes for guys, these defensive coaches, to see tape on a rookie and a new scheme, and then next year they can trying to bottle them up and see something. But there's a way, and I've been saying this not just now but months ago. There's a situation where I see that this Commanders team runs roughshod over these defenses probably early on. Like I said, this new, it is not new, but it's just an evolved air raid from Cliff Kingsbury, a new quarterback, a new young sensation in Jaden Daniels, a good running game, a upgraded defense, especially in that linebacker spot, and you get Payne and Allen on one accord, and they're healthy, along with Newton and Armstrong and Make Simon still, and all these guys. There's a great chance that this Commanders defense will be good enough to bend not break, to hold these teams down, to not scoring touchdowns. And then you have the offense, who could be high powered, who could be sneaky good, and we could see them, as I said, potentially go worst to first. If not going that bold, going a little mild prediction with it, they can be second in the NFC East, last to second, and be a wild card team for the NFC. And I think that's very, very possible with how I'm seeing everything reporting back from Washington. I think they could be a sneaky good team, and they could definitely make some noise this year. But that's it for the video, guys. As I said, let me know how you feel about it. Am I off? Am I on something? Am I on to something, not on something? And before we go, like, share, comment, subscribe, guys. Watch out for all my social medias at Stat Street Sports. I'll be going live pretty often, pretty consistently, every other day, if not every day, streaming MLB The Show, Road to the Show, and also the new college football, Road to Glory. I'll work my way up to playing online games and all that stuff eventually, but right now we're having fun with Road to Glory and Road to the Show, and then we'll work on Dynasty and that stuff a little bit later as I get, kind of out of Road to Glory mode. But that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.